T-minus 10.
We must confront the reality that nothing in our solar system can help us.
9.
I've got kids, Professor.
How long
would I be gone?
The phrase epic has been used quite a few times in connection with the film. It is on a kind of scale that is pushing boundaries of what cinema can do, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's what you know, nobody gets more bang for your buck on the screen, you know, as far as epic scope and size and scale than Chris Nolan. And this is by far his most ambitious.
I'm trying to think, as an actor, when you see a script for a film like this, how much do you know or can you envisage about the final product?
Look, the first time I read it, it was 5.5 hours for me to read it. I had to read really slowly through the team. There are places we go that are very abstract.
Yeah. Because the things you're alluding to are wormholes, which people are kind of familiar with the idea of a wormhole, that you're traveling through something that no one ever has. What does that look like? So that's envisaged on screen. And then the issue of a messing with time and space.
Yeah.
Again, what does that look like?
Exactly. I mean, that's an abstract thing. We don't have any pictures of that. But yeah, there's no blueprint for what these things look like. Now, everything we do, you know, in the film is based on the plausible theories in astrophysics. It answers the if-then questions, but it by no means is a book of this is what would happen.
Maybe we've spent too long trying to figure all this out with theory. Love is the one thing that transcends time and space.
I wasn't that good at science as a kid. It wasn't a speciality for me. Did you have to brush up a bit? I don't know.
Hell yeah.
All those...
Oh, yeah. Well, like I say, that first read took me 5.5 hours.
You're checking the words as you went along.
Oh, yeah. And so I had to go. I spent a day with Kip Thorne and had the big questions for
Kip
him.
Thorne being the brains, the scientist behind it.
The scientist behind it, the expert on this stuff. And he answered a lot of my questions. I left him with a lot more questions, which is basically the basics of astrophysics. Have no answer that does not lend to another question. I remember telling him, well, you have good job security that way, don't you?
Have you always been interested in space?
No.
You're not someone who wants to go to space?
I'm more interested now, but it's nothing I thought of when I was a child. You know, the part of the wonder of what kicked me off and gave me some initiative to do this was my son, 4 years old, asking me questions about the solar system, talking to me about space travel.
The call comes in tomorrow from NASA. Matthew, there's a seat on board a flight going into space.
Yeah.
Do you take the seat?
How long am I gone?
Let's say it's a 3-week trip.
3-week trip.
Are you in or are you out?
I think I'd want
Got a lot of people waiting for this seat, Matthew. You've got to make a decision here.
Let me talk to my wife. Hang on for a second.
What's she saying to you, Matthew? Come on.
She probably. Well, I wouldn't make a decision that quick. I'd say, you call me for that seat. You give me a minute. I'm gonna talk to my wife. Yes, you can be on hold. I'll be right back with you. And if she was up for it, and if 3 weeks, I'd be real tempted to I know I'd want to go for sure. Now, if you stretch the time past that, say 3 years, no, I can't do that.
I noticed the other day that Buzz Aldrin, second man to walk on the moon, has been talking about the notion of if we go to Mars, do you just tell the astronauts you're not coming back?
Right.
Is that the deal?
Right.
Now he's been talking about
He's asking this question?
Yes, he's been saying, yeah, that's what you've got to tell them. Because it's too expensive to come back. So the real world is quite close to the world that you've been looking at in the movies. It's interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting. I mean, like I said, you asked me earlier if I was always interested in space. No, I wasn't. Now I'm much more curious because, you know, you go to work on a film like this, you talk to people like Kip Thorne, I'm much more curious because it seems much more attainable.
Scary, though.
Yeah. Hell yeah, it's scary. You know, and it's not a necessity, you know, to go out there like we're going to need that as a new home, and I hope it doesn't become one. But it is a question, you know, in the story that Chris is, that we tell in Interstellar.
Cooper, I can't tell you any more unless you agree to pilot this craft. You're the best pilot we ever had.
I barely left the stratosphere.
This team never left the simulator.
What about Michael Caine?
Sir Michael Caine?
Sir Michael Caine.
I learned a lesson last night.
What did you learn about Michael Caine?
Never be called out, especially in London. Do not be called out to the stage after Sir Michael Caine.
Why is that?
Because your applause will pale in comparison.
He plays the lead scientist, effectively, in the film. Are you Michael Caine fan. Have you seen many of his films?
Yeah, I'm more of a fan of his now after meeting him. What a wicked sense of humor the man has. And he's really, really funny. And he and I got a few scenes where we got to work together, you know?
Have you seen The Italian Job?
No.
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 Let me recommend it to you.
Okay.
Michael Caine, one of his
The
finest.
original one.
The original one,
Yes.
yes. I recommend it to you.
Okay.
NASA's just still on hold waiting.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They
yeah.
are waiting.
Yeah,
So have they got a decision yet? Have you
I'm
had
going
that?
to finish. I got this interview, and I'm going to talk to my wife. I got to check with my son, Levi. But just hold the seat, because I think I can work this out.